Question is asked what was my dating life like before meeting Judy? And I had tried dating sites, the popular ones, the typical ones. I had also been a part of a Facebook group for reformed singles, as Judy has been. In fact, that's where we originally encountered one another. But really, none of my efforts at dating really went anywhere.
For me, I was really looking for somebody that modeled just a lot of my father's character traits. Just a godly man, someone who loved the Lord, loved studying the things of the Bible, and just devoted to living a godly life, and that really has come full circle with Steve.
When it came to what I was looking for, as typically people say, in my future spouse, I had, as I made reference to a minute ago, I made, many attempts at dating, and, many attempts at relationships with women. And like I said, none of them had gone anywhere. So I got to a point where I just said, to the Lord, in prayer, you got to you got to be the one to bring her to me, or me to her. I had been leaning on my own understanding, up till that point, and again, hadn't gone anywhere. But one thing that I knew or felt to be certain was that she needed to be reformed. She needed to be Calvinistic in her basic theological, doctrinal understanding. And in Judy, he definitely answered that prayer.
I discovered Tulip singles because I actually at that point had kind of given up on the whole dating and marriage thing. I was very content with my singleness and just, in a place that I was really loving in terms of my teaching and where I was living and with friends and socialization and activities and things like that. And I was content with that. And at that point, I really was just okay to just not do any more, online dating or just dating, period. And so it was actually through the Facebook page that Steve and I were both members of that somebody mentioned that Tulip was this, this new site. And I just thought it was honestly just hilarious. I was like, that's just great. Like, who does not check out like a reformed dating site named Tulip? So I was like, I just have to see like what this is about anyway. Like, even if I'm not, looking to do the dating thing.
Yeah. And so we met there online, and we, it was just before Memorial Day that year. And we just, started messaging through the site, and that eventually led to us texting, and then eventually talking on the phone, and we agreed in early June of that year that we would meet in person, meet somewhere in the middle, because at the time she was living in Wilmington, Delaware, and I was living up here in Binghamton, which is in upstate New York. Roughly about 3 hours between us, 3.5 hours between us. So we decided to meet somewhere in the middle, and that happened to be Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. And it was a very warm June day. And I remember the first time I saw Judy in person. I had seen her, of course, pictures of her online, but first time I saw her in person, my response to myself inwardly was, wow. Very, very taken in. But without going into a lot of details, I really wasn't all that sure for much of that afternoon together that she even liked me. Wasn't until later in the afternoon, shortly before we were going to go our separate ways, that it became evident to, I think, both of us, definitely to me, that I definitely wanted this to continue, and I wanted to know her more, and I wanted us to get together more and to converse more, and so on. And we did. We got together the following weekend, I believe. I guess somewhere else, but somewhere in the middle, and she came up for 4th of July weekend to my area here in upstate New York. And during the time in between that first meeting in Jim Thorpe and the 4th of July weekend, again, we had been talking, texting. I know I had been praying. I believe she had been too. And we had already agreed that we wanted to move toward marriage. But it was that weekend that I actually proposed to her, and she said yes. To those of you who are new to dating, online dating, or new to Tulip, we would highly recommend you taking advantage of this means. My experience with Tulip was a very positive one. I had met Judy there, and I had encountered other people there that I just simply conversed with, just talked with, men and women, and it was a nice time. It was a nice time. It didn't feel like a dating site to me.
I think my biggest takeaway from all the years that I spent on dating sites and just meeting people is just to really be patient. It really is in the Lord's timing that these things work. Sure, there were times of frustration and loneliness and sadness, but thankfully the Lord was gracious, and he never left me, and just really gave me that time to learn how to be by myself, and how to live life, and how to function, with me just relying on the Lord. It's really, really helpful. It's really, really a blessing when you're doing these things. And so just be patient and be willing to speak with one another. Learn about people. Honestly, by the time I got on Tulip, I thought it was hilarious, just to be on a reformed dating site named Tulip. But once I was on there, just talking to people, it was enjoyable, and it was smooth, and it was effortless. And so, give it time, give it lots of prayer, be patient, let the Lord lead, and He'll bring you to your person.